Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, from the athletic standpoint at Kent State, we have, I guess for a quick overview, we have 18 sponsored varsity teams. You got 10 women's teams, and you got 8 men's. Obviously they range with the women, you got basketball, lacrosse, cross country, outdoor track and field hockey, soccer, golf, softball, gymnastics, volleyball, and indoor track and field. The men have baseball, golf, basketball, indoor track and field, cross country, outdoor track and field, football, and wrestling. I guess specifically with golf, since I'm the golf coach, I've now, again, like Ellie mentioned, I'm from Canada originally. I grew up in Belleville, Ontario. I played college golf here. I came, I guess my first year here was 1997. And I came down on a golf scholarship and played 4 years here and then turned pro and actually played professionally for about 15 years. My assistant is also a Canadian from Alberta, Canada. And the coach I took over for, who coached here for 41 years, is from Markham, Ontario. So big Canadian connection. As you can see, based on the picture, two of our team picture, we have a Canadian flag flying outside of our facility. And we do a lot of recruiting in Canada. I would say almost from the existence of the golf program here, we've had Canadians come down. We currently have a kid on our team from Quebec, so pretty much every year we tend to have Canadians, which is kind of cool to have. Actually, our most notable Canadians in the pictures, you see Mackenzie Hughes on the left, who was fortunate to win the 2016 RSM Classic on the PGA Tour. And then Corey Connors on the right, who won the 2019 Valero Texas Open. So pretty impressive what they were able to do, coming from the north, coming to in a northern school, playing a sport that, you can't do during the winter, but to have this success. And we're actually fortunate there was another player, Ben Curtis, who a lot of people know of, who won the British Open and won 3 PGA Tour events. Also won the Valero Texas Open, Corey won. So a lot of history here at Kent State for the golf program, and hopefully, we always continue to do that. For facilities all across campus, we have obviously, state-of-the-art facilities, ranging, like for our facility, our facility, which you see there, is a $2 million facility that was created by donors, and that gives us the ability to play nationally, especially early in the spring when there's still snow on the ground. We travel all over Texas, Phoenix, Carolinas, everywhere. And, our goal from our program is to play a national schedule and have a chance to compete for the national championship every year. And I think that goes along with a lot of the other programs here on campus. We have a strong athletic system here. And as you can see with our football winning a bowl game last year, and baseball is very strong. One kind of cool thing is our men's and women's golf program traditionally have been the most successful programs on campus. Our program is always in the top 25 to top 50 programs in the country. Our women's golf program is top 5, top 10 in the country. So pretty impressive in my experience, seeing all the other programs. Obviously, average team cumulative GPA 3.331, very impressive from an athletic standpoint. Our golf team actually, the last two semesters, we've set team records for men's golf, and it was, I think, 3.7, which is crazy. But as you can see, some great academic and I think a big part of this is the resources we have at Kent State that play a big part of this. We have every team has an academic supervisor that, spends a lot of time and not just helps them with the academics, but kind of creates almost like a family atmosphere and a one-on-one basis to where, they really care about the athletes. And we have an academic facility where our athletes go in. You spend X amount of hours, depending on the program, a week, and basically mandatory study hall. And in there you have access to academic support. You have learning specialists, you have tutors, and basically our program, coaches get access to grade updates. And if we see, red flags, then we get them the help. And through this facility, they never get too far behind. Golf specifically, we miss more school than any other program on campus. We play 5 events on average, 5 events in the fall, and then 7 plus postseason in the spring. So managing your time is so important with this. It is basically, if you can't manage your time and schedule and get ahead of your classwork, you really struggle. And that goes into I guess the whole recruiting and this for every athlete on campus, just understanding that when you come here, you're going to be pulled in every direction. We sit down with our athletes at the beginning of the fall when they first get here and literally go through a schedule day by day. This is where you're going to be. This is what you got to do. Schedule your study hours in, and you have to follow that. If you don't, you just get bypassed quick. You can't survive. And so that's a big thing. And that goes for, college athletics anywhere. But I feel like we do a great job of that and working with our kids. And, we feel like if you can kind of take care of the academic side, then the athletic side kind of takes care of itself, kind of frees you up. Kind of going into like a day in the life of an athlete, a typical day, and it goes along with the scheduling, is that, you wake up, our guys, you work out at 7 a.m., you get breakfast, you go right to class, and you get done class by 1 o'clock, and you come to the facility to practice for 3 or 4 hours. And then you go home, you go to study tables, grab dinner and go to bed, and then repeat. So it's very, you got to be determined, you got to be disciplined to go through this. And like back to what I said about recruiting, that's one of those things that no matter how good you are as a player or an athlete, if the academics isn't where it should be, it might be a reason why we don't recruit. I can kind of go into the other thing that actually goes along with that. We also do community service. Our athletics, we do a lot of community service. Our golf team, we do a lot because we're so we're such a good program here that we get out in the community, and when we go out, people know us, and I think that's really important, I guess, for all athletes, but I think especially for us. Now, kind of understanding athletic scholarships and kind of, I guess, advice on how to qualify. Obviously, the grades are important, the athletic ability, but that managing your time and more importantly too, how you are as a person, well-rounded people. I look for kids that are dual athletes, like obviously Canadians play a lot of hockey in the winter and golf, whatever. But those dual athletes that are just competitive and show that they can play multiple sports and still do well in school, really show a lot about that person and how they manage their time. With with obviously COVID the way it is now, and no recruiting till the end of the year at least, we've had to kind of change the way we've done things. So it's even more important for the prospective student athletes to communicate with the coaches and have a lot of phone calls with them and get to know one another. And, you know, as a coach, we're trying to figure out how that person will fit into our program. And it's vital for them to communicate as well as the coaches, but it's vital that they communicate with us and get to know one another, because really that's over the next year or so, that's going to be the determining factor on recruiting. The other thing that goes along with that is the importance of sending videos and getting that information out. And one thing related to COVID is that all these kids that are in the programs now, they've been given that 5th year of eligibility. So there's less and less spots available. We're recruiting now 22 class, and my experience being Canadian and knowing people up there in the sports world, Canada seems to be a little behind on understanding the recruiting process down here and how we recruit so far ahead. And with COVID and being less spots, it's more important that they reach out to coaches and stand out more than the regular standard emails. As a coach, we can identify, we see the difference between a truly personal email and one that is cut and paste. And I can tell you some horror stories of emails I've received of like not changing school names and it's like, wow, you just can almost delete it. And because you get so many and you got to somehow figure out a way to filter through them. But, to me, that's really, really important. Let me see what else we got. With scholarships, I know Ellie touched base on a little bit with a global scholarship. The global scholarship is one that a lot of our Canadians get. It's fairly new for us within the last 3 or 4 years, which is great for recruiting, to be able to have that global scholarship, which I think is around, I think it's $4,000 a year, and it's renewable. I think you just need a 3.0 to renew it. The International Freshman Scholarship, which is another new one, which I'm still not sure how that's going to be applied, but it is basically $0 to $20,000, which if you reach the certain criteria, which I believe is 27 ACT composite plus a 1260 SAT or a 1210 old SAT, that can be up to $20,000, which is a huge deal, because obviously with the dollar the way it is, and it's expensive for any international kid to come down to the US to play sports. So along with that, in academic or in athletic aid, there can be a pretty nice scholarship. From an athletic scholarship, it obviously varies per team. Golf, specifically men's golf, we only have 4.5 scholarships. And I think that's another thing that a lot of kids and parents don't understand, that, when we roster around 10 kids, and to have 4.5 scholarships, it's got to be spread out if you want to be competitive. And so to get, say, a full ride in men's golf is very, very rare. In fact, it never happens if you want to be competitive. To understand that and to know that going in, I think it's important, because I've come across a lot of kids recruiting from a recruiting process, just kind of almost expecting that kind of scholarship. And I think that's across the board. And obviously on the women's side, there's more scholarships and more opportunity with that standpoint. But no, it's something that I think would be very helpful.